On the desert moon of Kalor 5, water wasn't just precious. It was life's last bargaining chip. Every droplet was counted, measured, filtered, and stored under lock, tracking, and the threat of military execution. Humans lived in domed settlements, rationed to a thin bottle of recycled moisture each day. To survive the blazing days and frozen nights, they learned to fear the wasteland outside the shields. Fear the storms, fear the beasts, especially the Striar tigers, towering four-legged predators with obsidian armor, ion blue stripes, and jaws capable of slicing through steel. Even the colonists' rifles couldn't always stop them, and everyone knew one rule. If you see a Striar, run. But 14-year-old Leo Ward never cared much for rules. Leo was a maintenance assistant, the lowest rank, repairing the endless water conduits that snaked beneath the surface. He liked the quiet, the hum of machinery, the way dust sparkled under his helmet lights. But on this day, the earth under his boots trembled, a minor quake, and a conduit ruptured, blasting a geyser of precious water into the open desert. Alarms blared in his helmet. "Seal it now!" his overseer shouted. Leo rushed to clamp the pipe, hands shaking, but the ground cracked again, and he fell. He tumbled into a ravine, his helmet striking rock, his breath catching. The world buzzed and flickered dark. When he blinked awake, the sun had already begun to set. His suit pinged warnings, rations, 12%. His comm was dead. He was alone, or so he thought. A low growl vibrated the stones around him. He turned, and there, sprawled in the sand, was a Striare tiger. Its glossy dark armor was dented, one wing-like bone plate shattered, blue blood dripping in slow streams that crystallized in the cooling air. Its glowing eyes flickered weakly, fixed on the boy. It was dying. Leo froze. Every cell in his body screamed to run. But the creature did not rise. It did not bear fangs. It only breathed shallowly, each rise of its chest slower than the last. He noticed the cause. A broken harpoon, human tech, lodged deep near its ribs. It had been hunted. It had crawled here to die. His heart pounded. He should leave. He should climb, find shelter, ration his water. But the beast's gaze held something he had never imagined a predator capable of. Fear. He swallowed hard, lifted his cracked bottle from his belt. "This is stupid," he whispered to himself. "This is insanely stupid." Yet he stepped closer. The Striare growled, a sound not aggressive but weary, defensive. Leo lifted his hands to show he meant no harm. He knelt beside its head. "Hey, it's okay," he murmured, though nothing about the situation was okay. He unscrewed the cap. A fragile mist escaped, his last water losing itself to the air. He tilted the bottle to the creature's lips. The tiger hesitated, nostrils flaring. Then its thick blue tongue reached cautiously, desperately. It drank. Leo felt panic spike. That was his water, his life. But the way the creature's eyes brightened, just slightly, he couldn't stop. He let it drain the last drop. When the bottle emptied, the tiger's breath eased. It blinked at him, slow, deliberate. A gesture Leo almost believed was gratitude. It lowered its head, exhausted. Its tail twitched, brushing his wrist like a hesitant handshake. "That's all I have," Leo whispered hoarsely. His throat already felt like sand. He remained by its side through the cold night, sharing his body heat against its massive flank. He spoke quietly, to keep himself awake. About the stars, his mother back at the colony, how he hated being afraid all the time. He didn't know if the tiger understood, but its rumbling purr answered him, steady, alive. By dawn, Leo could barely speak. His suit's life support beeped urgently. He pressed his hand against the beast's armor, ready to say goodbye, but the ground shook again. Heavier footsteps. 3 Striar tigers emerged from the dunes, massive and uninjured. Their alpha stood in front, taller than a shuttle, stripes burning like lightning. Leo tensed, heart leaping into his throat. If he ran, they'd catch him in a breath. If he stayed, they'd tear him apart. The injured tiger growled weakly at its kin. A warning? A plea? The alpha lowered its head near Leo, nostrils flaring, reading him, judging him. Leo lifted his empty hands, voice a rasp. I helped your friend. That's all. Dying would be worth it, he thought. He saved someone who needed it. The alpha leaned closer, then did something no human had ever recorded. It bowed. The other tigers followed. The injured one nudged Leo with its snout, urging him onto its back. He hesitated, then climbed. The creature rose beneath him, steady and powerful, carrying him up the ravine walls like a living tank. The others flanked him, guardians of a mystery he had unlocked through kindness alone. Hours later, when the colony search team located him near the perimeter, what they saw nearly triggered a panic. A human boy riding the back of a Striara, surrounded by 3 more. Soldiers raised weapons. Alarms screamed. Evacuation orders echoed. Leo stood on the beast's shoulders and raised his hands. Don't shoot, he yelled with what little strength remained. They brought me home. Cameras captured everything. News feeds exploded. The image spread across the galaxy. A child returning atop a feared predator, alive, unharmed. The Striare roared. Not a threat, but a declaration. And every human heard it not as a warning, but a promise. From that day, the Striare ceased attacking water convoys. They approached settlements without hostility, sometimes leaving freshly hunted desert serpents as gifts. Engineers learned their fractal communication patterns. Diplomats forged a treaty, all because a thirsty boy shared his last water with a dying beast. Leo became the youngest ambassador in human history. The Striar named him Waterbearer, a title of highest honor among their kind. Wherever he walked, massive blue-striped shadows followed like living myths, guardians of a fragile peace. And when Leo was asked years later why he did it, why he risked everything for a creature designed by nature to kill him, he always answered the same. It was alone, afraid, in the dark, and no one deserves to die like that. He would smile then, placing his hand on the armored neck of the tiger beside him. Kindness is never wasted. Sometimes it builds legends.